Do you ever wake up in the early hours and feel a quiet tug at your soul? A whisper that says, there is more to this day than rushing more to your life, than just moving through it. Mm-hmm. I want to invite you today to pause with me for just a moment and consider the first moments of your morning. Those hours, those minutes between darkness and the first light are more powerful than we often realize. They are a sacred gift, a chance to begin again, to align your heart, to set the tone, not just for the day, but for your life. Imagine for a moment the Prophet rising in the stillness before dawn. The world is quiet. The heart is attentive. The mind is uncluttered. In that quiet, there is an opportunity to connect with the divine, to reflect, to breathe life into your intentions, to ground yourself in purpose. What would it mean if your mornings carried that same intentionality? If your first actions of the day were not just about moving, but about awakening your soul. Too often, we rise and reach first for our phones, for the noise of the world, for the demands that pull us before we have even had a chance to meet ourselves. But the Qur'an reminds us gently, and the morning brightness and the night when it covers with darkness, your Lord has not forsaken you, nor is he displeased. Z8, Duha and 9313. There is a sacred rhythm in this world, a rhythm of light and darkness, of stillness and action. And in the morning, a decade ago, we are invited to step into that rhythm consciously. I want you to reflect on this. How do you greet your morning? With awareness or with haste? With gratitude or with complaints before the day has even begun? Your morning is a mirror. It reflects your heart, your habits, and ultimately the life you are building. What would it feel like to rise intentionally, to open your day with a heart aligned toward meaning rather than distraction? The Sunnah gives us a beautiful blueprint. The Prophet would begin his day with gratitude, with prayer, with Dhikr, remembrance of Allah, before the world demanded anything from him. It is not merely ritual, it is preparation, preparing your heart, your mind, and your spirit to carry the weight of the day with wisdom, compassion, and clarity. Even just a moment of stillness, a heartfelt dua, a mindful breath before the noise begins can transform your experience entirely. Take a moment now and breathe. Inhale deeply, feeling the quiet within. Exhale slowly, releasing worry, rushing, and tension. Let the stillness remind you that you are not just moving through life. You are living it. And the first act of living is awareness. The first act of intention is choosing your morning, choosing your life deliberately. One practice I find profoundly grounding is starting with the Fajr prayer, not just as a duty, but as a dialogue with your Creator. As you stand in those quiet moments, the world still wrapped in night, your heart can speak freely. You can share your hopes, your fears, your gratitude, and the response is gentle, subtle, yet transformative, inner peace, clarity, and a sense of purpose that no rush or noise can provide. But the morning routine of a believer is not only about prayer. It is also about nourishment for the soul, for the heart, and yes, for the body. A few mindful steps, some dhikr, gentle movement, and even a quiet sip of water can set the rhythm of your day. Imagine beginning with intention rather than obligation. Imagine stepping into your tasks not with dread or distraction, but with a sense of purpose and calm. Reflect for a moment. What small action could you take tomorrow morning that would honor your heart? Perhaps a short supplication, a line of Qur'an, a mindful breakfast, or simply 5 minutes of silence. Begin there. Begin with one intentional act that says to your soul, I choose awareness. I choose presence. I choose life with meaning. The beauty of this approach is that it compounds. One intentional morning leads to another. One quiet moment of reflection leads to more. Soon, your life begins to carry that rhythm of mindfulness, of spiritual alignment. You begin to notice your actions throughout the day. You pause before reacting. You speak with clarity. You act with purpose. You are no longer carried by the currents of habit alone. You are the architect of your own soul. I want to gently remind you transformation does not require monumental effort at once. It begins with small, consistent choices, and the morning is where you plant the seed, a seed of presence, of gratitude, of alignment. And as you nourish it, your day blooms into clarity, calm, and purpose. Consider this. How often do we allow ourselves a morning that is truly ours, uninterrupted, unhurried, aligned with our deepest intentions? The Quran speaks of the beauty of those who rise in reflection. They arise from their beds, seeking their Lord with fear and hope. Al-Sada 36 says, fear here is not terror. It is awe, reverence, awareness of the transient nature of life. Hope is not naive optimism. It is trust, certainty that your actions have meaning, that your efforts are seen and valued by the most merciful. So, I ask you softly, what would it be like if tomorrow you rose not to catch the business of for the world, but to meet your soul, to ask yourself, what is my intention today? How can I serve my purpose, my family, my community, my heart? This is the essence of a morning routine that is rooted in the Qur'an and Sunnah. It is not about rigid steps. It is about inner alignment, about letting your heart guide your actions rather than letting the noise of the world dictate them. And yes, life will demand from you. There will be responsibilities, challenges, distractions. But a morning built on reflection and intention equips you to meet the day with resilience. It is like a calm river flowing within you, giving clarity to your decisions, steadiness to your interactions, and lightness to your steps. A beautiful sunnah practice is also starting with Dhikr. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Simple words, yet each carries depth, beauty, and a gentle reminder of the divine presence surrounding and sustaining you. Say them slowly, reflectively, allowing them to settle in your heart. This small act repeated with intention shifts your inner state profoundly, aligning your soul with peace and gratitude before the world even begins to stir. Now, let us also consider physical readiness. The Prophet encouraged taking care of the body as a trust. Gentle stretching, washing, or even a mindful sip of water are all part of acknowledging the gift of your body and preparing it to carry you through a purposeful day. The spiritual and the physical are intertwined. Caring for one nourishes the other. Before moving on, I invite you to reflect on this. How does your morning reflect your values? How does it honor your purpose? Are your actions driven by habit or intention? You are invited gently to reclaim this sacred time, to rise with mindfulness, to greet your soul before the world demands from you. And as you do, remember even small efforts, repeated daily, create immense transformation over time. Finally, as you build your morning routine, do not forget to infuse it with compassion for yourself. Perfection is not the goal. Awareness is. Presence is. Even if you miss a moment, even if you stumble, gently return. Each morning is a new opportunity, a clean slate, a chance to realign your heart, your mind, and your soul. Take a moment now, breathe deeply, and envision your ideal morning. What do you see? What do you feel? Let that vision guide your choices tomorrow. Begin with prayer, with reflection, with intentional acts that honor your soul. Begin the day not in haste, but in harmony. Begin with purpose. Begin with presence. And watch how your life slowly transforms from a series of automatic motions to a tapestry of mindful, intentional living. As the morning light grows, so does the opportunity to carry this sacred awareness into every corner of your day. Once you have risen with intention, prayed with your heart open, and nourished your body and soul, the question becomes, how do you maintain that mindfulness as life begins to move faster around you? How do you keep the rhythm of purpose steady amidst distraction and demand? The first key is conscious prioritization. The Prophet exemplified simplicity and focus in his daily life. Each action, each interaction was deliberate, imbued with awareness and guided by higher purpose. You too can bring this into your life. Ask yourself gently, what truly matters today? What action will honor my values and serve my soul? Start with clarity. Begin with intention. Allow your priorities to arise from a place of presence, not habit or obligation. Another profound practice is reflective journaling or quiet contemplation. Even 5 minutes, perhaps after your Fajr prayer or after Dhikr, can anchor your day. Write down your intentions. Reflect on your heart state. Observe without judgment, simply noting your feelings, thoughts, and desires. This habit trains the mind to return to stillness, even amidst chaos. It reminds you that your inner life is not an afterthought. It is the foundation of everything you do. Consider also the act of gratitude. The Prophet would often begin and end his day in gratitude, acknowledging the blessings seen and unseen. Gratitude is more than a mental exercise. It reshapes perception. It softens the heart, heightens awareness, and aligns you with the divine. Pause and ask, what am I grateful for this morning? For this breath, this light, this body, this heart, this opportunity to live another day. Let gratitude flow into every action, and you will notice a subtle shift. Your life begins to feel fuller, richer, more connected. The Quran reminds us, indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Rad 13 when Enes. Morning routines are not superficial habits. They are a mirror of the heart. They reflect what we cultivate within ourselves. By nurturing awareness, gratitude, reflection, and intentional action in the morning, you are, in fact, cultivating the transformation of your inner life. You are preparing to meet the day with wisdom, patience, and clarity. I also encourage you to integrate small acts of kindness early in the day. The Prophet taught that even a smile is charity. Reach out to a loved one with a gentle word, offer help, or simply send a prayer for someone in need. Acts of goodness create momentum. They open the heart and remind you that life is not just about personal gain, but about service, compassion, and connection. Movement is another essential element. The body and soul are intertwined. Gentle stretching, walking, or mindful exercise not only energizes the body, but also sharpens focus and calms the mind. Imagine each breath, each step, each motion as a form of meditation, a way of honoring the trust of your body and preparing it for the tasks ahead. The physical and spiritual dimensions of your morning work together to set the tone for the day. As you go about your tasks, keep your awareness alive. Pause before reacting. Reflect before responding. Let your day be guided not by impulses, but by intention. The Prophet often paused, even in the midst of busyness, to reflect, to pray, to remember Allah. You can do the same. These moments, though brief, anchor your soul in the truth of who you are and what you are striving toward. Now, consider the influence of your morning on your mindset. Intentional mornings create clarity, resilience, and confidence. They allow you to face challenges and not with fear or frustration, but with composure and purpose. Every choice you make, what you eat, how you speak, how you act, becomes a reflection of your inner alignment. Your mornings are not isolated moments. They are the foundation upon which your entire day is built. A reflective question for your heart. Are your mornings a reflection of your highest self or a reaction to the world's noise? Awareness, dear soul, is the difference. Awareness allows you to rise above the rush, to act from the depth of your values, to greet each moment with presence rather than distraction. Another guiding principle is intentional consumption. The first words, the first messages, the first media you engage with all influence the energy you carry. The Prophet, I was as mindful of his speech, his surroundings, and his company. You can cultivate the same discipline. Choose what enters your mind with discernment. Let your first inputs nourish, uplift, and guide you rather than fragment or overwhelm your attention. Spiritual reflection, gentle action, mindful awareness, and intentional consumption together form the architecture of a believer's morning. This routine is not a rigid checklist. It is a living, breathing practice of alignment, of returning to your heart and values at the start of each day. And in that alignment lies power, the power to respond wisely, act compassionately, and live intentionally. Now, let us reflect on patience. Life will not always unfold according to plan. Challenges, frustrations, and uncertainties will arise. But a morning grounded in faith and mindfulness equips you to meet these moments with steadiness. It reminds you that while you cannot control everything, you can control your response, your attention, and your heart. Your morning is a rehearsal for resilience, a space to cultivate strength, calm, and faith before the world tests you. Imagine beginning each day with a conscious pause, a deep breath, a reflective prayer, a gentle stretch, and a moment of gratitude. Let it shape your perspective. Let it guide your speech. Let it influence your choices. Soon, this intentionality becomes natural, woven into the very fabric of your life. You become not just a participant in your day, but a deliberate creator of it. I invite you to notice, too, the subtle ways your morning shapes your relationships. And when your heart is aligned, you respond with patience rather than irritation, kindness rather than criticism. Your presence becomes a gift to those around you, a ripple effect of inner harmony that spreads quietly yet powerfully. The Prophet, I modeled this perfectly, teaching that our inner state profoundly influences our outer world. a final reflection for your soul. The morning is sacred because it is a microcosm of life itself. In the stillness before sunrise, you are offered a choice to live unconsciously or consciously, reactively or intentionally, with distraction or with presence. Each day is a new opportunity to cultivate spiritual depth, moral clarity, and inner peace. Do not underestimate the power of these early hours. They are a chance to shape your mind, refine your character, and align your life with purpose. And so, dear heart, let us commit to rising with intention, nurturing our soul, honoring our body, and setting our day upon the foundation of awareness, gratitude, and connection to Allah. Let every morning be a reminder that your life is a gift and that the first steps you take each day can carry the imprint of divine purpose. As we conclude, remember this gently. Transformation is not a destination. It is a practice. Each morning, each choice, each breath is an opportunity to cultivate presence, wisdom, and compassion. Let your mornings be a sanctuary, a space where your heart awakens before the world, where your intentions are clarified, and where your spirit is nourished. Take the lessons of the Sunnah, the guidance of the Qur'an, and the practices of mindful believers, and integrate them into your life slowly, consistently, with compassion for yourself. Let this rhythm become your own, adapted to your unique circumstances, yet always rooted in presence, gratitude, and purpose. And finally, I encourage you, share this message with someone who may need a reminder to rise with awareness. Let it ripple outward. Subscribe to continue receiving gentle, heart-centered guidance for a life of spiritual depth, emotional healing, and conscious living. Remember, dear soul, your mornings are not just the start of your day. They are the start of transformation, the start of aligning your heart with your highest purpose, and the start of living with intention. Breathe, pause, reflect, and rise with love. Let this sacred rhythm carry you forward today and every day, shaping your life quietly yet profoundly. The gift of a mindful morning is the gift of a mindful life, and that gift is always within your reach.